This will be an interesting ramble about spiritual freedom soon. Okay, so what is spiritual freedom? Let's say that spiritual freedom is the state of having an 100% free nervous system. So that means that everything in the nervous system is self-communicating, it's healthy, it's replenishing, it's not no energy is stuck in any particular place. This is when we are in an unconditional system or container or vessel for experience, right? The reason we lose this is we start off as babies and we get brought up into a system that has these parameters of this, not this, this, not this. We go to school, we go to church, or we go to work. And over time, what's happened is we have actually been brought up in a civilization that doesn't know that this has been a problem in the first place. We know about health being important, but we don't know that our culture slowly dissociates us from our own experience of life. It happens slowly. So over time, we get kind of boxed in to this fight or flight mode. And this is why everything and the internet is becoming so helpful, because we're sort of learning how to go inside out, because we kind of become aware that there is a problem. It's not just one thing on the news or another thing on the news. There is a whole system going on of issues that are psychological, trauma, spirituality, wealth inequality, war, and we're learning about all of these things is very damaging. It's damaging. It's distressing, but it's showing us that there's a kind of a common cause that's leading to all of these things, and that is displacement of our unconditional being. So I'm gonna talk about systems of logic versus what is right. So we have experiences, and we have them from the heart. So in the heart, we know whether something is good or bad. We know that, that hurting people isn't right. We know that sharing is good. Love is good. Happiness is good. These are all felt experiences in the present moment. And what happens is, because we have this head that's really big, we've created this sort of system, and then the mind starts chasing the system and then kind of loses connection with the heart and the body, because we become so obsessed and fascinated with our minds that we've lost basic understandings, like whether our feet hurt, or whether we're numb, or whether a certain noise in the distance scares us, or whether we're over our relationship. These things build up in the nervous system, like triggers. And also the way that we get trained in the architecture and the technology that we live in as well causes us to kind of live in this kind of robotic state. It might not seem robotic at the time, but looking outside of it, it definitely looks very robotic. People do the same things. They go to the shop, they get that, they get the car, they do that, and it's like one thing to another thing, and all of the middle experience is kind of cut off of the journey. With a 100% free nervous system, there's a complete openness to everything. And when you do that, you come back to your own blueprint, your original source, your innate knowing, And you don't need all of these logical systems. This is mostly irrelevant for actually living your life, because we have what we need inside of us. We are innately understanding of what is good and what is bad, and what is healthy and what is unhealthy, and what we want and what we don't want, and what excites us and what doesn't excite us. It's the task to relax the body enough and trust our own inner guidance enough so that these conditions kind of fizzle away. And you might notice this happen during work of this kind. But once it's gone, we become connected with ourselves again. And this is a double connectedness with ourselves, because we don't rely on our parents. When we're kids, we are still living within the routines of our parents. When we're adults, we can do all of this while looking after ourselves. We can choose to do whatever we want. We are now really the main characters, but we still maintain, or we've managed to reclaim, all of the joys that childhood gave us, because the joys are innate. The joys actually come from existence itself. It's not that we get used to things or anything like that. This is a logical excuse that the Matrix has made to try and explain its own problem. But we are now in a point where we're learning and we're realizing what has actually happened. And this is why this is so in the mainstream now: trauma, therapy, healing, triggers, and reclaiming of the soul. And this is why spiritual practices are becoming very popular. Even meditation is one, but lots of other ones are becoming more popular, because we're all realizing that we're all going through the same thing, and we're all dealing with the same problem with different masks. And the same problem is this. So very soon there will be a sort of deeper thing underneath in our intelligence that's waking up and saying, no, it doesn't have to be like this. I have everything I need inside of me already. I have the theory and the knowledge, I guess, but I have the innate knowing. I can just override this system and swerve out and do work in my body and my mind and my spirit. And at that point, you will find this energy opening up, and you'll come back to this state of being, which is completely joyful, abundant, etc. So we're at a very interesting time in civilization, possibly the most interesting time. And this is what many are referring to as the golden age incoming. And there's lots of theories on why it's now, but the main ones I've seen are astrological. This was always supposed to happen at this time. 2,000 years of Jesus and Christianity and the church, and now we're changing over, and there's a collective awakening happening. But you can still see the mechanics of why this would be happening when we look around and we look online and we see the fact that we're so exposed to all of this information. We have to now work with it and be like, okay, how does this apply to my life and my experience? And what am I actually missing? And oftentimes the Matrix will try and tell you, oh, it's this new subscription, or it's, oh, you need to share this news story. But all of this overload is actually waking something else up underneath. It's like, no, there's something else, man, there's something else. I can't explain it, there's something more. My dreams are coming back. What's this? And this isn't, you can't label that kind of emotional, there's something else, man, there's something else, what's going on? You can't put that in this box, but this is actually the natural, unconditional, organized intelligence rising up. And that is why things have been so weird since about 2019, right? Things have been a bit strange since this time, and this is, you could argue, this changing of the age, and now we're in 2025, so we are all going through something massive together, and this, well, only the gods know